What if all the improvement strategies you followed are genuinely worsening your life? We've erected a whole enterprise on the assumption that we're inherently broken, continuously fixing ourselves like broken equipment. But here's a profound reality. The core belief that you need correction is the sole broken element. Envision a wave in the sea suddenly achieving consciousness and distressing because it's not firm like a boulder, because it continuously transforms form. The wave would attempt to repair itself and achieve stability. How illogical would that appear? Yet, this is exactly what we as humans do every day. The wave is already exactly as it should be, yet we persuaded ourselves that we're defective works needing perpetual reconstruction. We've been taught an upside-down story. You contain challenges requiring solutions, features requiring refinement, and if you push hard enough and uncover the right system, you can finally mend yourself and become your destined self. This tale is so ingrained in our culture that we hardly interrogate it. We embrace our position as eternal projects under construction. However, what if this fundamental premise is utterly flipped? Here's something radical. You are never damaged, never incomplete, never a problem needing solution. The only thing requiring repair is the belief that you need repairing. Ponder nature. When you look at a tree, you don't evaluate its branches as inadequate. The tree is splendid precisely as it appears. It evolves and adjusts to its context, but doesn't organize summits about personal growth. We humans have created this faculty to become our own reviewers and directors. We gaze in the mirror and observe a restoration case requiring effort. Trees develop understanding as well, discovering which direction to grow toward light, how to embed roots more deeply. However, trees don't torment themselves about lacking height. They respond naturally to what life presents. The difference is trees trust their nature, while we've been taught to doubt ours. We've been trained to think our instincts are questionable, our answers likely faulty. So we construct an internal overseer judging everything we undertake. Am I achieving enough? Am I progressing at the right speed? It's enervating, like harboring an obsessive manager in your thoughts, perpetually judging you insufficient. But this critic isn't your actual being. It's incorporated criticisms, absorbed standards from parents, mentors, and society. You've adopted a tribunal, making you feel continuously inadequate. Yet who observes this panel? Who observes these judgments? Something in you witnesses this performance without becoming involved. That presence is your authentic self. You're not the ideas concerning yourself. You're the consciousness where all this arises like climate conditions across sky. The sky is never injured by weather systems. Storms appear and vanish, but the sky continues boundless. Similarly, concepts of deficiency come and pass, but your core remains unaltered. You can modify and progress without the tale that you're inherently flawed. Observe infants learning to walk. They stumble perpetually. Do they develop tales about being flawed? Of course not. They get up and try again because walking looks fun. Learning happens naturally, playfully, without self-judgment. Two ways of changing are available. One assumes you're broken, like a technician servicing a malfunctioning engine. The other perceives you're already entire, like a gardener trusting innate flourishing. The repairman fights while the gardener joins forces with nature. Most development systems are technical. We treat ourselves like robots requiring better software. Yet, what if you're more like a garden possessing innate intelligence? When you place confidence in this wisdom, you discontinue fighting against yourself. Rather than pushing yourself into templates, you allow your nature to unfold. When you cease battling yourself, you liberate colossal energy for experiencing life. Ponder how much energy you consume judging yourself. Picture if that energy were obtainable for existing fully. The individual who understands their complete funnels energy into manifestation and discovery. Here's something astonishing. When you discontinue attempting to mend yourself, Problems you thought require repair frequently solve themselves. When you cease stirring up self-evaluation, your understanding becomes clear. A great deal of what we believe is broken arises from efforts to mend what was never defective. You might believe you suffer from an anxiety issue and apply approaches to fix it. However, this attempt creates greater anxiety. What if experiencing anxiety sometimes is perfectly natural? When you cease making anxiety an issue, it frequently vanishes organically. We've been conditioned to believe we should have specific feelings: delighted, certain, peaceful. But feelings are the meteorology of awareness. Occasionally rough, occasionally placid. This isn't malfunction. The same applies to personality traits we see as flaws. Maybe you're introspective in a culture praising outgoingness. Rather than correcting these traits, understand them as your singular contribution. Oaks don't try transforming into pines. Rivers don't apologize for failing to be mountains. When you receive your nature entirely, something remarkable happens. You cease depleting vitality, being what you aren't. This doesn't imply you never evolve, but learning comes from curiosity rather than inadequacy. You expand because growth is delightful. Children don't work on imagination. They just envision organically and easily. We develop skepticism toward innate intelligence. We've changed our internal life into an enterprise with reviews. Yet your authentic essence still exists, waiting for you to recognize you were never flawed from the start. Here's an apparent contradiction. The more you endeavor to improve yourself, the more you strengthen the belief you need improvement. But when you recognize you were never broken, enhancement takes place organically, easily. When you have faith in your being, growth takes place like blooms emerging splendidly in their own rhythm. This isn't complacency, but confidence in the intelligence that drives your heart. So here's an experiment. Perform a trial. For 24 hours, cease attempting to repair yourself. See that day as a gift to be opened. Encounter feelings without altering them. Perceive thoughts without judging. Approach yourself like a beloved friend with tenderness, patience, and lightheartedness. You might learn you're amazing exactly as you are. This is the ultimate secret. You were never defective. You're already intact, already full, already sufficient. You're not separate from life. You are existence displaying itself as human, and existence is jubilation. We're all waves on the same ocean, each individual, each complete, each transient. When you recognize this as embodied experience, you can finally relax into being who you are. Your authentic self is more magnificent than your imagined ideal. You don't require becoming more like existence because you are existence playing at being human. The wave is the ocean playing at being a wave. If this message touched something within you, I warmly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Follow for more material that challenges accepted wisdom about self-growth and personal development. And leave a comment below with the word whole to tell me you're ready to welcome your whole, undamaged nature exactly as you exist at this instant.